This is Sue Bunch from Back to Back Fiber Products. The demonstration for our needle felting project is to make this Santa in a crescent moon shape. One of our students had made something similar, except much larger, and we loved it so much we thought we would try to do something in a smaller version that could be used for a Christmas tree ornament or maybe to add to a wreath. You could also tie it onto a gift package, give it as a gift. So let's get started, and we'll talk about how you can make one for yourself. So we'll set it up here, and then we'll talk about the materials that you'll need to collect. The first thing you'll need is to get some roving, either wool roving or alpaca roving in a white color, and this is going to be the base that we're going to build our project on. Then you'll need to have a few different, small amounts of a few different colors, a flesh tone for the face, a tiny bit of black for the eyes, some red for his hat, and some curly locks from some sheep that have real curly fiber to use for the beard. You'll also need to have a foam work surface, and you'll need to have a felting needle. So when you get those things collected, you come back and we're going to be starting to make this crescent moon shape that we're going to build the figure around. And the first material we're going to need will be this white roving. So we'll take a quick break till we get your materials together, and when we come back we'll get started. See you soon. The first thing we're going to do to make our little Santa in this crescent moon shape is to make the base of it. And I have one completed here, so you'll see what it looks like when it's finished. It looks like about a size of a small banana. And it's pointed at both ends. And this one I made a little bit more of a rounder shape. This one is going to be a little bit more pointy shape. But you can decide, either one will look fine. And so in order to do that, I have taken my roving here and cut it in pieces about 8 inches long. My hand span is about 8 inches, so I just took about 4 pieces. Works for me. But 3 or 4, some roving is thicker and some is thinner. You see this piece was kind of thin down here, and others are much thicker, so 3 or 4 pieces that long should work for you. And what I have found for this project that works okay is to just stack them one on top of another and kind of hold it together here. And what I did was just start at one end and just started punching all those layers together. And what I'm going to do is work back, maybe a couple of inches or something like that, and start punching the fibers together. Then I'm going to turn it a little bit and continue working until I get that punched together pretty densely, actually. And this will take a little while, but take your time and just work away, and you can see how it's starting to come together here, even on mine in this little bit that I've been working. So we'll keep punching and turn it a little bit, and you can see I can work on the end here and decide if you want to make it more pointed or more curved at the top, and just continue working away like that. And when you're finished with this, and just keep working, I'll need to work quite a bit more until that's nice and firm there. Then I'm going to turn it to the other side, kind of pull the ends down together like this, and we'll do the same thing at this end. And just do the same thing. Now when you get that completed, just the ends, we're going to come back here and we'll make this into a crescent. So take your time, and when you're finished, come back and we'll talk about the next step. We'll see you in a few minutes. To continue making the crescent shape that we're working on to build our Santa face around, we've started by needle felting the ends of this group of roving. So now hopefully you've got yours in that shape. And now what I have found that works pretty good is to make your crescent shape right on your foam. So what I usually do is take an extra felting needle, or even just a pin or something like that, to just hold it in place. Because now we're going to sculpt it in this shape that we're looking for. So you can see how I did it with this particular one. So you just lay it on there and pin it in. Now you're just going to start needle felting the rest of this together. And it's being held in place here on your foam work surface. So just continue working away like this, because what your goal is to get it all felted down to look like this one. So we're just going to keep working here, and I work on the inside of the crescent here and just kind of punch in and work on the outside. And just keep punching around and around and around. And take your time. This is going to take you a while to do. You're not going to be able to finish it in a minute or two. This will take a little while. So just keep working on it like so. And then after you've done a little while, you can turn it over. So just pull it up like this, turn it over to this side, and repin it. And start in again. And as time goes on, you will see that it starts holding together and keeping its crescent shape. So keep working on it, and as it starts forming and holding together a bit more, you could even hold it in your hand like this and continue punching until it gets, you can feel it has a nice dense feel to it, and that's going to be the base to build your project around. So keep working, and when you're finished, come back and bring your red color. Well, I think we'll do the flesh color first on the face, and then we'll, of course, do the red on the hat and put the beard on. So we'll see you back here in a little bit when you get your form, your crescent form finished. Now that you have your crescent shape completed, now we'll start putting the colors on it to make it into this little Santa face. I think the first part will be to put the flesh tones on the face. And so if you kind of hold your crescent shape in your hands and see where the kind of the center divided up into thirds, and figure out where the center third would be, because the top third will be the hat and the bottom third will be the beard. And so this center part is where we're going to do the face. So if you can take some of your flesh colored roving and just lay it on there, and we can, if you have, if it gets over into the other third, don't worry about it, because we'll be covering it up with the part of it with the hat, and we'll be covering up the other part with the beard. But just lay a fair amount in here, because we'll be wanting to do some sculpting of the eyes and the nose and the mouth. So we'll just take your time and pull off some of the little pieces of roving here and lay it around. And then just needle felt it in and just keep working until it smooths out. Now the back of it probably isn't as important as the front. The one I had done, I kind of covered it up with some of the curly locks for the hair, but at least you'll need a fair amount where the face is going to be, so that you can sculpt in the eyes and the nose and the mouth a little bit. Now we're going to work on sculpting the features on the face. As you can see, I've got the flesh tone I put a sort of a thin layer around the back, and I put a little bit thicker layer, several layers, on the front, so that I can use this to sculpt the face. I may have to add a little bit extra. You may too, but you can, as you can get started here, this will give you something to work from. So I like to usually start working where the eyes are, and so you can see the one I've finished here. And you can, this one I did fairly detailed with eyebrows and cheekbones and all of that. You could have it just not be quite so detailed and just an indication of where the eyes and nose are, but that will be up to you what you like for yours. So just kind of look at it straight on, and I'm going to start by just poking, and as you poke you can see it's starting to make an indentation of where the eye will go. And then the same on the other side. And this will get started, and then you can start moving down to form the nose. And as you do this, you'll see that there'll be the cheek, the area where the cheek is will start forming, and so forth. So then you'll punch here at the bottom of the nose, and usually his beard comes up. So I don't often do too much about the mouth at this point, because the beard will come and fill in this area. But you could you work on it a little bit yourself. This will take some time to do as you move along here to sculpt it. But this is how you can get started. And so we'll put the eye, continue to put the eyes in here, and sculpting a little bit more around the cheeks, the cheek area. You may find that you want to add some more fiber for the nose. It's a little flat at this point, so I probably will add a little bit more fiber for the nose and build that up a little bit more. And you could come over here with the eye and start sculpting that a little bit more, and the eye socket and where the eye is going to go. So you can see it's starting to shape up. So I'm going to work a little bit more on mine. You work on yours too, and we'll come back in a little bit. We'll talk about putting the eyes in, and then start laying in the fiber for the hat. So have fun sculpting his face. We'll see you back here in a little bit. Continued sculpting the face of my Santa here in the moon, and I've actually added his eye on this side. So I added a little bit more to the nose, and if you can look from the side, you can sort of begin to see the shape of a face that is formed here. And you can make it however you want. You know, it's up to you. Maybe you just want to leave it that way and not add eyes to it. It's up to you. And I added a little bit more to the cheeks because I thought it would be fun to have sort of a large formation of a cheek there on the side. And then I'm going to add the mustache and the beard here, so I haven't done too much about the mouth. To do the eye, you really just need the tiniest bit of fiber. Just the tiniest little bit like that would probably be enough. And I just oftentimes, when it's something so small like that, I kind of roll it in my fingers to get a little ball started, and then just lay it in there and start punching it in. And you can shape it a little bit more if it looks too big, or whatever, it's too small, you can add more black to it if you figure out what looks best to you, and get it shaped in the space where you want it. I always think it looks better to have like an eyelid over the top. So after I work on the eye for a little bit, I take a little bit more of the flesh color, just the tiniest bit here. Sometimes I fold it over about like that, and then lay it over the top and punch it in so it's more like an eyelid. and I think it gives a little bit more of a realistic look if that's what you're wanting. So you can see here how I'm doing this pretty quickly, but maybe you get the idea of how I work with that. And then you can see there it's starting to come together. And then you just take your time and finish it up and get the face looking how you want it. And the next step, what we're going to do is to, sometimes when you get started on it, it takes a while, and then you think, oh, let me add a little bit more here and a little bit more touch there, and it starts to take on a little personality. That's kind of the fun part of it, I think. So the next thing we're going to do is add the fiber on for the hat, and we'll talk about putting, oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about is, I'm sorry, I forgot, if you wanted to have this hanging for a Christmas tree ornament, then if you just have a little piece of yarn and tie a little knot in it, and you can attach it here to the top of the hat. It seems to hang better if you do it from the top, and then you can just needle felt that in here. In fact, I think I'll just lay it down on the foam. Makes it a little bit easier. There's a little bit more of a surface to punch into. And hold that in there. And then over the top of that yarn, you can start laying the color for the hat. And you can put several layers on until it gets the thickness and the color that you like for the hat. And so you just keep needle felting it in here and adding different layers, like so. And just keep working until you get all the colors in the area of the hat that you like, and then do a nice job of felting it in nice and firmly. So now we have a start, but we'll keep working on that for a while. And then on mine, I even took a little bit more of the white that we used for the body and added a little kind of a cuff around the hat here. And then you can start laying on the curly locks for the beard. To do the little mustache, I just used a little another piece that I used for the where we made the base of the body, the crescent part, and I just you could also use curly locks in here too. It's up to you, but gives you some different choices. And I just lay that in there like that, and tuck it in with your needle. And you can, shape this however you want. You might want to have it poking out. You see how this one is? You could felt that out there, or just leave it sticking out. There's lots of different choices when you're doing felting, and there's no right or wrong way. It's just how it comes out, and sort of the vision that you create as you move along. And then with your curly locks, just take a look at some of them. It's kind of fun to pull them apart and see what they look like. And they're different lengths and different thicknesses, and you can just start pulling them apart and lay them on and start punching them in. And you can see it doesn't take too long before it starts to fill in and looking quite beard-like. So I'll let you work on yours, and we'll finish it up here, and we'll see how yours turns out, and mine as well. So have fun with your felting. We finished with our project now, and our Santa and the crescent moon, and I hope you've had fun doing yours. I'll show you how mine has turned out here. I love working with the locks and pulling them apart, and every time they come out very different. I found some little tiny ones to go around the top of his head here, his forehead, and put a little piece of the white roving to make a cuff on the hat. And I think it's going to make a very cute ornament. Hope you had fun doing yours. We'd love to see photos. Send them to us. We'll put them on Facebook and share them with others too. Happy felting!